Marcel has my favorite character growth in the season. I also heard that you have some experience with Minecraft, so do you think Marcel would survive in the world of Minecraft? And what resource would he hold on to just in case?
I wish I watched the Minecraft movie so I could further my knowledge of how people survive in that world. But I think Marcel would probably just be handing people torches. He would just be like, if you need this, then you got it.
What advice do you think Josh Matthews would give to Curtis?
Oh my gosh. I think Curtis would give Josh Matthews a heart attack. I mean, Josh Matthews is an uncle and he's a very caring guy. I think he would just be petrified of Curtis getting hurt. I think he'd try to drag him away from the fights. Like if, he was trying to go to his brother, he would be like, "Yeah, but let's not let him be a bad influence, man." I think Josh would be a good influence on Curtis.
Maybe even a little needed at this point. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. A lot of cool stuff happens.
Yep. All right. So, Motorheads, it's a series that deals with a lot of firsts. So, I thought I'd ask you guys some questions related to your first on the series. So, to begin with, the first step in getting a role is the audition. So, tell us about your audition process for Motorheads.
Sweet. Yeah. My audition process was pretty standard. I was sent, the audition and they sent the script, which sometimes they don't do that. So I read it all. And from there, I fell in love with Marcel. And I actually did the tape with some friends who were visiting from out of town. And it was like our trip kind of became about that tape because they kept asking for different takes of it. So we do it one time. It's like, all right, we're gonna go play frisbee in the park, guys. We have to go back to the house. We need to do the tape again. So it was really fun, and Marcel was just such a great character to play, and I'm very lucky that I was able to join this team. It's been fun.
Amazing.
I for mine, one thing that I always try to do in self tapes is try to set yourself apart in some way. These casting directors, they get hundreds of self tapes a day, and a lot of them only watch like the first 10, 15 seconds. They don't even see you do your work. So I was like, as soon as I saw this project, my buddy told me about it. I was like, I've got to stand out in some way. So I recorded myself on the Harley that I built, a little unconventionally, and did my slate there, being like, "Hi, I'm Uriah. This is the Harley I've been building for the last 3 years." I thought it was a great idea. Come to find out, Johnny, the show creator, was like, "Yeah, dude, I saw that," and was like, "Ugh, I don't know. This guy's, we'll see." And then he saw me do the read, and he was like, "Yeah, that's Curtis." So it can backfire, but I think ultimately it did work out. Yeah, I think you have to do your best to stand out a little bit, just to cut through the volume that a lot of these casting directors deal with.
You took the risk and it worked out. I love that. That's a great story.
It
And
does
so,
time, but it's
all right, you guys booked it. You've been doing your prep. Now it's finally time to start shooting. Tell us about your first day on set.
My first day on set was actually super nerve-wracking. Like I remember setting up for the first scene and for whatever reason I was just in my head and I remember it was me and Michael like at the top of the stairwell walking into the shot. And I just remember being in the top of that stairwell hearing everybody go like, "All right, lights ready. Okay, going to roll soon." And I was just like freaking out and then they finally go action. And then it just like went away. Like I just went into it and it was like, oh yeah, I do know how to do this. I forgot. I don't know. It was just some weird first day nerves, but it turned out great.
it's a little bit of the same thing for me. I knew this was going to be a big show, but you don't really feel the scale of it until you're on set, and all that pressure does just, tend to come down on you. I mean, you got so many people investing so much time, so much money, so much effort. You don't want to be the weak link. So yeah, day one is always the most terrifying. But it's like Nick said, as soon as they call action, if you've been doing this for a long time, your training kicks in and it takes over, and that's soothing. It's the anticipation of waiting for them to call that first action that's just, oh, it's nerve-wracking.
All right, a little more fun. So when you're on set and you're a little hungry, what's the first thing you grab at Crafty?
I like grapes. If they got grapes, I'm grabbing grapes.
You know what's funny is I don't really eat on set, even when they have meals. I normally go the whole day without eating, which can get tough when you're doing like 14 to 16-hour days. Um, so I don't eat really on set. But in order to compensate for that, I'll keep like a bowl of food next to me while I'm sleeping at night. And I'll wake up like probably 4 or 5 times a night and just like refill the bowl a few times. You got to get the calorie load in somehow.
Absolutely. I mean, it could also be a drink could be the first thing you go. Do you grab a coffee or sparkling water or anything?
When we were on set, I was stuck on energy drinks. I was just chugging monsters constantly. And then I learned how bad they are for you and I had to stop. And let me tell you, that's not easy. That's like quitting smoking. It's tough.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I do have a question for both of you, but I'm so curious, Uriah, since you mentioned your motorcycle that you built that you had in the self-tape, is that actually in the show? Is that your motorcycle then?
It's not in the show. The one that they built's actually kind of cooler. It's different. Mine's more of it's a Harley, so it's a V twin engine. It's really loud, aggressive, just straight piped. And Curtis's bike, I think is even cooler than the one I built. If you pay really close attention to the bike, it's a hodgepodge of all these different parts that you wouldn't normally put on a bike. The gas tank is a fire extinguisher. The headlight is like a KC light from a truck. They Frankenstein built this just monster of bike. I love it. But I would really like to get my Harley in the show for season two. Even if Curtis isn't riding it, I'd love to have something I built be on the show.
Just as like a background player vehicle, just.
Yeah, like give it some setting, give the Harley some street cred.
Is there anything you took home from set after season one wrapped?
I took the back of my cast chair home where it says like your character name for sure. I can tell you I will be stealing the motorcycle when we're fully done. They can try to stop me. They won't. I'm taking it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just took the back of the chair like Uriah, and I don't think I grabbed anything else.
You're at a point of stealing corporate company property when you take some stuff. So you got to be careful and you got to time it right. You got if you're coming back for season two, I'm holding all my stuff, my cards till the end. I'll tell you that. But I do want to go home with that motorcycle. I think it's awesome.
I think you deserve it. Well, thank you both so
Thank
much
you.
for your time today.
Thank you so much. This was really fun.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chelsea.